In Kalinga Province, a traditional way of welcoming people is still being practiced up to this day. This is called Palanos. Although the word takes various names, it has the same as Palanos. Palanos came from the root word payaloy, an Ilobuagan term meaning Kalinga table, which is a long table made of bamboo, elevated to waistline level, the standard height where people could eat either sitting or standing. The long table is where food is served to the visitors or those participating in the event. Lanos meantime means to enjoy the presence of one another.
If we go into its popular usage, when you encounter people or a groupation of people who are very pleasant, anlanos siya. This component of this word meaning, payalos, comes from this thing, these two words, to come together, to eat together in a long table where there is enjoyment.
There are two kinds of palanos. The common and popular one is Palanos ti Asawa and the other is Palanos ti Mangili. Matthew Kawas Chitl, a lad who comes from Pasil, Kalinga, is about to marry his fiancée, Alia Amsden, a lady from the United States. Matthew was born from an Ikalinga mother and an American father in the United States and grew up there. But because he acknowledges his maternal roots, he wanted to practice the culture and tradition the Ikalingas are accustomed to.
Yeah, I decided to do the Palanos just because it sounded like a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And now after the events have transpired, it really was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I'm just so grateful to the community for hosting us and for welcoming us into their village. It's just, yeah, I don't even know. Words can't describe how thankful I am to be a part of this.
His mother, Juliet Kawas, with a strong connection to their heritage, wanted her son to experience and document the Palanos tradition. She hoped that this will inspire the younger generation to keep their tradition alive. The Palanos will happen in Ginaang, a barangay in Pasil, where her ancestors initially settled, lived, and practiced the tradition. Here, both the Palanos ti Mangili and Palanos ti Asawa are to be conducted in the occasion. Palanos ti Mangili is one of the practices of the Ikalingas showing their hospitality. It is a warm welcome for guests when they arrive at the village, especially for first-time visitors. Palanos ti Mangili is also for friends and relatives whom a family has not seen for a long time. Matthew visits his hometown Kalinga after more than 20 years. For Alia, this is the first time. Matthew's relatives in Pasil conducts the Palanos ti Mangili to welcome both the couple and their family. The hosts butcher a pig, a way of informing the community that a visitor has arrived and that every neighbor is invited to join the feast with them. The presence of neighbors is a way to entertain and show the guests that a whole community wholeheartedly welcomes them. As part of the merriment, a fermented sugarcane wine called bias or basi and a Kalinga delicacy as sticky rice called chekot are served. The community all together help in preparing the food and serving the drinks. Palanos ti Asawa is a gesture of love and commitment done by the one receiving the other to visit his home. During this time, the Palanos serves as means to inform the community that one of their members will soon be married.
If we see it now applied in context with the word asawa, asawa means to marry. So this is now a celebration. We would be safe to say it is a celebration, a community celebration that brings together the community to eat out of joy, or a community coming together to do fellowship because of joy, because of love of the couple.
A Palanos can only happen when a man offers his love and is accepted by the girl. Before, it was usually the woman and her family who would conduct the Palanos for the groom-to-be. It was common that a woman gets the initiative to welcome the man as a show of acceptance of his love. Nevertheless, traditional practices, like in other culture around the world, evolve. There are adjustments or improvements and developments to the traditional practice, such as the expression of joy or thanksgiving that is added to the enjoyment during Palanos. There are now instances wherein the man may also do the Palanos to the woman, which is practiced nowadays by the Kalinga people. In this case, wherein Alia is the one visiting Matthew, the Palanos is done at the groom's house.
So the rest of the practice, if we would see the wedding as it is now defined in our terms, or asawa, we see now how it has evolved in the span of time, or in the practice of it.
Palanos in time past involved a parental engagement, where young children were matched by parents arranging their kids to marry as means to sustain good relationships within family friends. Some would even be promised for engagement as early as the time the mother conceives. These days, parental engagement is rarely involved. The preparation for the Palanos de Asawa is similar with the Palanos de Mangili. The community always extends a hand to the host in the preparation of the traditional marriage rite. The Ikalingas do not compromise the practice, whether or not the families of the couple are economically fortunate. Palanos in the olden days was in fact celebrated with a butchered chicken prepared by the parents of the girl for her groom-to-be. After then, the Palanos de Asawa is declared.
Let us remember that our ancestors were small settlements. There were 5, 10 settlements when they were practicing this.
The practice evolved over time, and families having means may butcher pigs. Some even butcher buffaloes, as the celebration requires participation of the community.
Because we have to remember that we don't have a church before. We don't have government, the LGU before. It's the community that makes that witness the whole thing, that witness the love over.
In the past, before a Palanos was done, a man was expected to render service to the woman's family. One that was commonly practiced was the giving of the man his first bundle of wood to the family of the girl. On the other hand, the girl likewise would do service to the boy's family, like fetching water. When such were done, Palanos happened next. These days, before a Palanos, the boy visits the parents of the girl, bringing along his close circle of friends, about 3 to 5 of them, and then ask for his Palanos. The request of the boy to the parents of the girl is usually anticipated, as parents should be informed their daughter has had a boyfriend. Some may send their olitog or their uncles or any of their trusted relatives as messengers to accompany the boy. They could go ahead an hour or two before the boy and his friends would arrive at the house of the girl. When these trusted people give the boy their blessings, the group asks that a Palanos be done. They shall then bring a pig or a carabao to be butchered at the girl's house. The butchering of a pig or a carabao will automatically mean that a Palanos has begun. There is also a traditional way of butchering an animal before the Palanos de Asawa. The anterior part of the carcass, the part of the animal's heart to the head, which is called lungos, shall be spared and shall be brought to the house of the boy.
Why the head part? It is easy association to understand our ancestors. The head is where your head is, the head of the family. So they have to give that.
This symbolizes the legitimate acceptance of the love of the boy for the girl. Once the lungas is given, it is already a sign of public declaration that he has been accepted by the girl and her family. They then become agasawa, meaning married.
Today, it is even more defined because there are many people now today. So they have to wait. They have to wait for their lungus. So they are going to partake of it because the Palanos, the asawa, is already declared once the lungus is there in the side or the family of the boy. So the boy, that is enough to declare that our boy is nangasawa, is already married. I think that is the plain dynamics of how it is practiced. The rest, we go with respect to how others would do it. But I am sure that definition or that guideline, that formula is carried in the whole of Lubagan. I know it is also in Pasil.
There's another part of the butchered animal called the lium. This is the base part of the carcass, or its posterior part. The lium is to be shared in fellowship with the community or the attendees. In the Palanos of Matthew and Alia, the bride's family or representatives gather at the man's house. The lium here will be given to the parents of the girl when they journey back home. Any relative of the man shall accompany the woman's representative as they travel. During a Palanos ritual, prayers and chants are performed by a man-aalisig, a spiritual healer, usually an elder of the clan, invoking kabunyan, the spirits and ancestors, to ask for spiritual presence and blessings. Part of the Palanos ceremony is the giving of advice by the elders present. The elders take turns in giving advice to the couple. Their pieces of advice will serve as guidance for a good relationship and how to be a good father and mother to their future children. The elders can deliver their message through a traditional chant, a song, or a speech.
Ang ay sitong ilay alilay, insali-sali dong may alilay alilay, kay diyo, sigurado I love you.
Because this is our culture. Yan ang kultura taon o san at iyak ng taon. Hadaw pun laeng maila ngenyana ng osaon iyak ng taon kasbilang osaon nitibo hin ang naon Kalinga. Hinyan ang pun ikaw ang naon ng Palanusan, sa Matthew, ang Alia, katragrag sa akong taon. Yaman tao an apo ta an naon na chat na tipo-tipon tao an intao drag sakon tok no amo ipaila ta upay kun handyan ang kulturan si Kalinga ket na isang sangayan in intero un grupo.
Ala ay ugaya Apudyo sa kamatuan Kapay kumatay ka bindisyonan Pagkikwidwa nga nagmaymay ka nga puso ka Kita kumabindisyonan
So anyway, this kind of marriage, which happens to be in our culture, is just that with the establishment of the IPRA law, which establishes the Office of the National Commission on Indigenous People, this kind of marriage is actually recognized, and this is binding and legal. Yes, under our national laws. So diay, at iti Palanos tayo. Basta no, at dati nag-witness nga nagaputi NCIP, if it is witnessed by NCIP, and Attorney Richard is here, he's from the NCIP. So it is already binding and legal under our Philippine laws. This kind of marriages. So we are already married under the eyes of the law, the Philippine laws, especially in the Kalinga culture, Kalinga law. So congratulations to both of you. So kada kayo nga ubing, nagasat kayo ta ma-introduce kayo ti kastoy nga napintas nga ugali tayo. Dito kumati isustinar tayo, dito ti paadwen tayo ngay tapno maamuan nagi ubing. Because dapat lang maamuan na dito napintas nga ugali tayo. No daduma siguro kat awan ti kastoy nga makita yo. Nung kastoy kat di kumit may awas lang agat alosan nga manaki awas na kapasyon. So to you, Macho and Aliyah, stay here for a few days and then go see the other places in Kalinga. And of course, stay here so that you will intimately know your relatives here in Ginaan. Thank you and congratulations again.
It is important to note that the Palanos ceremony is sacred and done meticulously, prohibiting heavy drinking of alcohol until every part of the ritual is accomplished. Palanos ti Asawa is celebrated even if an Ikalinga marries a foreigner or someone not from the same culture.
It's just a very natural thing. And this is a case, a very particular case, where all of us Kalingas, has to be clear about this. And we have to help together to define it so that we will see that the love of a Kalinga is encompassing also worldwide. It is not limited.
I've learned a lot from the Palanos ritual, and I'm actually still trying to process a lot of it. Well, yeah, the advice from the elders has been really insightful, and I've seen a lot of these dances growing up because my mom teaches the dance, but I never really understood the meaning behind some of them, and the elders have explained the meaning to me.
I feel like the advice was really important. It definitely helped us, kind of going into this experience, and I guess I just felt overwhelmed, but in the best way possible. It was just nice seeing everyone coming and supporting and welcoming me and allowing me to be part of this experience. It's definitely not something I ever could have anticipated, but it's probably one of the most memorable moments of my life. So, yeah.
Everyone's just been so kind and welcoming, and everything. It's I've just been overwhelmed with I guess everyone's love.
My message to him is thank you as well for choosing me, bringing me here, for his family welcoming me, bringing me in, and I hope to come back with our future children.
One of the many things that is still alive for Ikalingas, whether any kind of celebration, is that the community come together to help. They give out of love for their fellow Kailian, a voluntary action which is inherent among Ikalingas.